A complete timeline of Kevin Costner's controversies, from his messy divorce to a Horizon lawsuit. Kevin Costner is back in the headlines. The 70-year-old actor and director has been named in a sexual harassment lawsuit filed by a stunt performer who said that she was subjected to perform an impromptu rape scene on the set of Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 2, in 2023. The stunt woman, who has previously worked on Barbie and Yellow Jackets, is suing for an undisclosed amount and has requested a trial by jury. Costner's lawyer, Marty Singer, denied the claims in a statement to Business Insider. "Our client Kevin Costner always wants to make sure that everyone is comfortable working on his films and takes safety on set very seriously," Singer said, adding that the claim has absolutely no merit. Here's a timeline of all the headline-making missteps, scandals, and controversies Costner has faced throughout his career. Costner's career suffered in 1995 thanks to the critical and box office disaster that was Waterworld. Costner starred in, produced, and later took over directing duties for the post-apocalyptic action film Waterworld, which made headlines before its release thanks to its ballooning budget, which made it one of the expensive movies of its day. Production setbacks, on-set injuries including one sustained by Costner himself, and a natural disaster that destroyed an important set all inflated the final cost to a then-record $175 million. When the film landed in theaters, the critical consensus was that it was also one of the worst movies ever made. Costner, who personally invested $22 million into the film, lost more than just money in the aftermath of the box office flop. His career took a downward turn that continued with the release of his second directorial effort, The Postman, 2 years later in 1997. That film collected a handful of Razzies, including Worst Actor and Worst Director. Costner made an enemy of the Lakota Sioux following the release of Dances with Wolves. Dances with Wolves, Costner's 1990 Oscar-winning directorial debut, was praised for its attempt to portray Native American people and their culture more authentically than previous Western films. Costner also found himself embraced by the Lakota Sioux Nation, whom he enlisted to fill out his cast of Native American characters. But 5 years after the film was released, the New York Times reported that the Lakota Sioux had felt betrayed by Costner after he put forward a proposal to build a casino, golf course, and resort on national forest land in Deadwood, South Dakota, an area which they consider sacred. Costner and his brother and business partner, Dan Costner, offered to swap a 600-acre parcel of land 10 miles away for the land they were seeking, something the tribe resisted. While the Costners did acquire land in South Dakota to build their resort, it never materialized, and the pair put the 1,000 acres of land on sale for $14 million in 2013. However, it's not completely in the past. Costner is still involved in a decades-long legal battle with an artist whom he commissioned to create a bronze sculpture for the failed resort. Stephen Baldwin brought a lawsuit against Costner in 2012 and accused him of cheating him out of millions of dollars. After the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010, Costner was forced to defend himself in court against accusations that he cheated Stephen Baldwin out of millions of dollars. The federal lawsuit brought against Costner by Baldwin and his business partner, Sheridan controversies, claimed that Costner hid details of a lucrative deal with BP before they sold their stake in Costner's company that created centrifugal oil-water separators. Baldwin and controversies sought $17 million in damages, stating they could have made at least that much in the deal. After a 2-week trial, the jury sided with Costner, and they got nothing. Costner left Yellowstone before it ended following rumors of a behind-the-scenes feud with co-creator Taylor Sheridan. The behind-the-scenes drama of Yellowstone drew just as much attention as its on-screen action toward the end of its 5-season run. After reports began to circulate in early 2023 that Costner had clashed with Taylor Sheridan, the Yellowstone showrunner, over shooting schedules, the Paramount Network announced in May 2023 that the series' 5th season would be its last. Before the final episodes, which promptly killed off Costner's character, began airing in late 2024, things got ugly in the press. It was alleged that Costner offered to spend only a week on set for the final episodes, while Costner claimed that Sheridan dragged his feet with the scripts, leaving him no option but to opt out. The Oscar winner even said at one point that he would probably go to court, with the show's producers over his final paycheck, but as of 2025, that lawsuit hasn't materialized. The actor's messy legal separation from his second wife turned into tabloid fodder in 2023. Costner and Christine Baumgartner's divorce proceedings played out in the public eye throughout 2023 after Baumgartner filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences after 18 years of marriage. The two battled it out in court over child support payments, their home, the terms of their prenup, and even household items like a Peloton and cutlery, and all of their disagreements were dissected by the public. The interest in their divorce was fueled by jabs made by their respective lawyers and filings. Baumgartner's lawyers cast doubts on whether Costner had been faithful during their marriage. Costner's camp claimed Baumgartner inflated her child support payment request to cover $188,000 worth of plastic surgery. The two appeared to be headed for a contentious trial until they reached an undisclosed settlement agreement in September 2023. Costner mortgaged his house to fund his first Horizon movie. It became one of the biggest box office flops of 2024. Part of the reason Costner couldn't continue his commitments to Yellowstone toward the end of its run was because of production on his own Western film franchise, Horizon, which was originally conceived as 4 feature-length films that would be released in the space of a year. However, following the first film's disappointing box office performance upon its release in June 2024, the scheduled release date of the second film was pushed back from August 2024. It still hasn't been released. To get Horizon made, Costner mortgaged his property in Santa Barbara and invested $38 million of his own money. Costner and his undisclosed financial backers are also covering the first film's marketing, which Variety estimated cost $30 million. The self-financing route was a huge gamble, and one that it appears Costner is still paying off. As it stands, Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 1, has made $38 million at the global box office, meaning it hasn't yet made a profit. In May 2025, Costner and his Horizon 2 producers were sued by a stunt performer who says she was made to perform an impromptu rape scene. In a lawsuit filed in California on Tuesday and viewed by Business Insider, Devin Labella accused the actor-director, the production companies behind his Horizon film series, and 10 additional unnamed individuals involved in producing Horizon, an American Saga Chapter 2, of breach of contract and sexual harassment. In the suit, Labella, who was the stunt double for actor Ella Hunt, said that she was made to perform in a violent, unscripted rape scene without the required notice and consent, and without a mandatory intimacy coordinator present. She also said it was an open set, allowing anyone to walk in and observe the scene being performed. I was left exposed, unprotected, and deeply betrayed by a system that promised safety and professionalism, Labella told The Hollywood Reporter. Costner's attorney denied the allegations in a statement provided to Business Insider.